Okay, I think I've got everybody in that was in the waiting room. Good morning. Welcome to the Introduction to Law and Society in Business class, Business Law 263. I'm Daryl Cartwright, your instructor for this class. We have hopefully going to be a really good semester in front of us, and I'm pleased to see so many of you to actually attend today live. A couple of housekeeping notes. First of all, these Zoom sessions are streamed live and recorded on the class YouTube channel. And I mention that for two reasons. One is in the event that you do not um, have the ability to make one of the scheduled Zoom classes, you can always go to the class YouTube channel, look on the live tab or the streaming tab, and you should find that class recorded there immediately after it is done. That's one reason that I wanted to mention it. Second reason that I wanted to mention it is because uh, this is live and recorded, so please feel free to ask me questions during these sessions, but ask questions of a general nature that pertain to the class. Do not reveal any personal information. Do not talk about any personal situations. If there is some need to discuss something like that, let's do that off this particular format. This is not the place for that. You don't want that saved for posterity for all to see on the class YouTube channel. Okay, with that having been said, let me see if I can go ahead and so you don't have to look at me the entire time. I'm going to see if I can share. Oh, shoot. Where is it? I'm not sure where it is. Is that it? I don't know. That's it. Mm, Let's see. That's not what I wanted. Okay, let's see if I can share that. Okay, we'll give it just a second to populate here to make sure that I have the right thing up. Let me know if you see the PowerPoint slides. Could somebody unmute themselves and just let me know that you can see it, or do it on the chat. You can do it in the chat if you don't want to do that.
We can see it.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, great. Let me go ahead and get started then. There's some important information here today that I want to talk to you about. Um, First of all, the Cengage textbook is available. I met with the Cengage representative this morning, and that is linked, and you have the ability to access that now. I do not use that for purposes of exam questions or preparation or assignments. I have read the textbook. It's a good textbook. It's not what I use. I haven't read it in a number of years. When I first started, it was some edition that was sometime previous to this edition, but I haven't read it recently, and everything that you will be tested on is already contained on Canvas or will be. I record videos. I record audio lectures, video lectures. I prepare handouts for you. I do use PowerPoint slides from the textbook or from a previous version of the textbook. And anything that is on Canvas in the modules is subject to be tested on. I had there's a lot of different material that's there. There's no homework in this class. No homework. No assignments. People sometimes say, what about this assignment? Whatever. I don't have assignments. I guess maybe we do have assignments in the sense that you'll have a, biweekly type exam, but it's not an assignment per se in the sense that you're not, filling out homework questions. No homework in the class. Graded activities. The graded activities are going to be online exams. There's an attendance verification quiz that will be placed on the site on Canvas after this. Uh, so look for it later today. It'll be 10 points. Your regular exams will generally be 100 points each. The first one may be 90 because I may want it to come out exactly with 600, or there may be another exam that I have as a 90-point exam. We'll see. The final exam is 200 points. I says there may be bonus extra credit quizzes posted from time to time. I always have had. Now it may vary from, one semester to another. If I do, generally it will be based upon another video that generally 5 to 10 minutes that I place a link to, and then I give you a little quiz to make sure that you've watched it. And if so, you can pick up generally 5 or 6 points, sometimes as much as 10 bonus points. So make sure you get your free, I call those free points. Make sure you get those free points when you can. Zoom classes. You're here. So those of you that are here, that's great. We'll have this scheduled from time to time. I have the schedule already placed on the canvas for the entire semester. It may change. It likely will change. I've got it during the day for most of them. Sometimes I think I've got at least one Saturday morning one. I've got one or two that are after 5 p.m. I try to do it at different times so that I can accommodate different people so that if you would like to attend this live from time to time, you can. Um, the live Zoom classes, I never introduce new material on it. Just don't think that's fair. But I think they are very, very valuable. Why? Because I give you focus type tips. Look, make sure on this first exam that you know the difference between what court you can file a lawsuit in and get a jury in, and what court you don't have that ability. Make sure you understand why the McDonald's lady was awarded $3 million. What was she awarded that for? Was it to compensate her, or was it to punish the wrongdoer? Are they compensatory damages? Are they punitive damages? I'll focus on some things like that. Sometimes I'll just ask questions. And when I do that, usually it's because I've just prepared the exam and I know what's on the exam. And so I think it's a good idea to attend those. Most of the Zoom classes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they're not long. They're not going to be long unless you've got questions. And I'm there. And if students show up and they ask questions, I am here for that. I will definitely do that. As I said, they're all streamed live on the class YouTube channel. If you miss one, no big deal. You just go to the class YouTube channel, you go to the live tab. I think it's called live on there, but if you look at the URL, it actually says streams. So live or streams tab, and it will show there. AI policy. 2 semesters ago, it started in earnest, and last semester, boy, I had lots and lots of folks that tried to do well in the class. First of all, the general rule is this: can't use it. I don't care if it's Grammarly, you can't use it. There's no reason to use it in this class. For purposes of the exams, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, I'm not really looking for you spelling things correctly, using correct grammar, etc. I had a long discussion last semester with a student where English was not their first language. And we discussed that, and I told this student that it did not matter for me. What I look for on my exams are issue spotting, making sure you understand the legal issue and can apply the legal issue. If you spell the Monotton rule, Mcnottean, I don't care that it should have been M'Naghten. I think I spelled that correctly. See, I may not even spell it correctly. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure that you understand what the legal principle is and you identify it and you can apply it. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So, number one, use of AI is strictly prohibited. It's a violation of the school honor code. It is designed to be an automatic F in the class, a zero on the exam, an automatic F in the class. All those things are on the table for me to use as the instructor. However, the easiest thing is that they're garbage answers. I'm not going to give credit for anything that is an AI response or anything that looks like an AI response. It doesn't have to be AI response. If you try to write your answers and you cannot precisely and concisely identify the legal principle in a sentence or two, then you're going to get it wrong. Zero credit. Part of being able to use law is understanding how to be concise with it and be precise so that you don't give me a bunch of garbage, and I call them regurgitated or vomited type answers where you just try to show me how much you know. Let me cut and paste. That's what it used to be. Google and cut and paste and just put a bunch of stuff that you might find on a Wikipedia page. No, zero credit. Easy for me. Zero, zero, zero. I had students using Chat GPT last semester, and they were making 30s and 40s on exams. Didn't understand why. They did understand why. They knew why. But those are not going to do well. You're going to need to be specific. And I take some pretty good steps to make sure that you're specific because the questions I ask are not general. They're going to be specific to the questions and the materials that I present to you. Most of the exam questions you have are short answer questions. Used to be were true false questions. AI ruined that. AI ruined that. I had a student that took a 50 question exam that had hypotheticals on it. It was designed for 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Took it in 7 minutes, cut and pasted Chat GPT. Ruined it for all of you. Ruined it for all of you. So now they're short answer questions. They're designed to see if you read the material that I present, not extraneous materials, if you watched it, if you absorbed it, if you understand it, and you can apply it. What I look for purposes of grading your papers are issue spotting and applying the issue correctly. That's what I'm going to look for the most part. For the most part, there may be some generic type questions that aren't specific to the material that I present, but for the most part, if you didn't watch my videos, if you didn't read my materials, then you're not going to do well because ChatGPT isn't going to answer those things for you. I had a student that after the first exam last semester, 2 semesters ago, that they came to me and said, I failed the first exam. I've never failed an exam before in my life. And I said, okay, do you want to, let's review the exam, see where you went wrong. So we're starting to review the exam, and I was going over the exam, and I said, okay, this question came from this handout. And the student said, I didn't read that handout. Can't help you. The student said, are there any tips to Doing well in the class, or how do I study for the class? Well, the first thing is you read the material, all of it. I think it was important. It's all important. If I prepare it, I'm a busy lawyer. I've been doing it a long time, and I'm a busy lawyer, and I prepare materials. If I prepare the materials, by golly, I'm going to think it's important. I'm not going to waste my time and your time. No homework, but just reading a lot of material, watching a lot, taking notes on it. For students that really want to know how I think you should study law, the Cornell method of note taking is what I recommend. But it's different for everybody. I think I actually have a video on the Cornell method of note taking and show you kind of an example of how I would use it in a particular lecture. But when you're watching these lectures, don't just listen. Actively take notes. Actively take notes. It has been shown time and time again that the writing, the actual listening and writing, handwriting, improves your ability to understand and to recall the things that you're listening to. Time and time again, it's been shown that. Now I use AI. I use AI in my everyday life. There's a AI that's being used on this Zoom session. In addition, I've got two different Claude devices that record information for me, and I dictate into them, and they summarize based on templates that I use or whatever. I embrace that. But I don't do it when I'm learning things. You do it for other things. You do it as at helping you study and that kind of things. And for goodness sake, do not use it for the exam answers. You won't do well. You won't be happy with it. Promise. Grading policy. 10-point scale, not rounded. It means if we have 600 points that are possible, and I'm not talking about if I have 30 bonus points during the semester, that's you could actually make better than 100%. 630 you could make. The 600 would be the 100% kind of grade. If I do that, then you need 540 points for an A, not 539. I'm gonna let that sink in. Don't ask me to round. You need to earn it. Earn those points, 540 points. If it's a 600 point, and it should be 600, it might be 610, but it's probably going to be 600. First couple of tests might be 95 points. I don't know. I'll do something like that because I'm going to have the attendance verification quiz count as 10 points. You are if you've been keeping count or if you've read the syllabus up to this point, you'll know we have 5 regular exams for 100 points each, and the final exam is 200 points. When you say, wait a minute, that's 500 plus 200, that's 700. Well, the reason I keep saying 600 is because you will be allowed to drop your lowest grade. What if I miss an exam? Do I have to use that as my lowest grade? No, not if you miss one. If you miss one exam, don't ask me for a makeup. You can't take it early. You can't take it late. You got to take it on exam day. If you miss an exam, your final exam grade percentage will substitute for that missed exam. So you make an 80% on the final exam, which is 160 points because it's a 200-point exam. You'll get an 80 for the missed exam. If you make a 60% on the final exam, you'll get a 60% on the final exam and a 60% on the missed exam. Can you drop that grade? Yeah, you can still drop it if it's your lowest grade. You'll be able to drop your whatever grade is lowest of those 5 regular test grades, even if it's a substituted test grade. What happens if I miss 2 exams? Miss 2 exams, 1 exam can be substituted. The final exam percentage grade can substitute for the missed exam. The second one will be a 0. You can drop it. You can drop it. It will be dropped as your lowest test grade. What if I miss three? Why are you in the class if you're going to miss three of the five exams? Come on. Well, I was sick. I did this, whatever. Well, sometimes life stinks. And if something like that happens, maybe the best thing to do is drop the class or all the classes and say, okay, I was sick, whatever. I'm just going to recover. I'm going to postpone everything a semester. I'll be back next semester stronger than ever, and I'll retake the class and do well. That's how I see it. Exam days generally will open at 12 a.m. Central Time on exam day and close promptly at midnight. Your exam must be completed by that time. Generally, it'll open at 12 a.m. I've had issues before where I wasn't up at midnight the night before the exam, and it did not open at midnight, and nobody notified me until 9 or 10 o'clock the next morning, and I fixed it at 9 or 10 o'clock the next morning. That could happen. As long as it's open for 12 hours during the day, I'm going to count that as fine. No exam can be taken early or late. I mentioned that before. The exam schedule almost never changes. There's no real reason for it to change unless there's a weather situation that knocks out internet or something like that. If it does that, then I'll change it. Zoom schedule, I said sometimes changes. I don't think I've ever had a semester where at least one scheduled Zoom class didn't change. It's going to change. I can't help it. I mean, I work, I have other work that I do as well. And if Judge Conwell sets a hearing at 11:30 on Monday morning, and I've got something scheduled at 11:30, well, I'm going to have to move it. I'm sorry. I can't. Judge Conwell won't let me say, well, wait a minute, I've got my Zoom class at a particular time. So hopefully and again, I try not to do that because I think it's discourteous to my students to do that. I don't do that randomly. What I have done in the past is sometimes, depending on the number of students that are showing up for these, if I start to get low attendance on it, then sometimes I'll go ahead and I'll pre-record the Zoom class so we don't really have it on there, but it'll be on the live tab as well. So class assignments, none. There are no assignments. There's no homework, no assignments. A lot of reading, watching, listening audio, studying, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. That's law. It's reading stuff, a bunch of stuff. I'm not trying to turn this into a law class. I mean, to a law school class. I'm not. I taught law school for 16 years. Um, but I do think the way that law school is taught is the way this class should be taught as well, to the extent possible, to the maximum extent possible. So a lot of reading. We'd have, gosh, 100 pages to read per class per day. It just, we were reading books a day. It sometimes, or at least every other day. It took a lot. I'm going to require that of you as well. The good news is that based upon some class surveys that I gave last semester and the feedback that I received from students, um, students ask me. I used to have weekly exams every single week. And sometimes students had other things, life that went on that kind of kept them from being able to study like they wanted to for that particular week. So they said, gee, it'd be better if we had a little bit fewer exams. And that's why I went to 5 exams rather than 10. Now there's more material, but you got more time. It's not every week, it's every other week. So you got 2 weeks to study all the material. So if you have one week where your boss sends you out of town and you're traveling and whatever in your work, and then the next week you're going to be back and you can do a lot of other things and catch up, then that works for you. Um, I recommend not trying to cram it all in. I think that's the worst thing to do, but it's better than nothing. I've been there. I know what it's like. Contact information. I am receptive. Sometimes it takes a while. I had a student who emailed me yesterday, and I didn't get back to him until this morning, but I will get back. There's my email address. I think my personal email address is on the syllabus. I don't, that's fine too. It's dcartwright@gmail.com. I don't care. Eventually, I'll see it one place or another. My cell phone text number is that one. If just a personal request, if and I know you guys text message. I get it with that. I do too. I do too. I don't do it to the extent that you do, but I do. I learned from my daughter, who's now a nurse. Um, she 1 month back, long time ago, I got my cell phone bills, and I've got 8 lines on my cell phone uh, account because I've got work stuff and then personal as well. My daughter had a cell phone that was on the account, and 1 month I got a something in the mail, and it was a big box, and that big box came in. And I thought it was a new phone because back in the old days, you used to order phones rather than just go to the store and pick it up. You'd order the phone from my T-Mobile company. And when I opened it up, instead of there being a phone in there, it was my bill. Probably 500 pages, probably a ream of stuff. And they had sent me my bill that showed text message after text message after text message. My daughter, who was at that time a sophomore or junior in high school, had 30,000 text messages that month. 30,000, like 1,000 per day. So, and that's just while school was going on. That's how I learned about text messages. So, if, however, you text me, perfectly fine. But if it's going to require some response for me to explain something, I've got to do a 4 paragraph, full page kind of stuff or whatever, please email me. Let me respond by email rather than text. Or if you text me, put your email address in your text message and say, if it's going to be long and you'd rather email me, this is my email address. That's just a personal preference. Okay. I've spoken for 30 minutes or so. As I said, this is a long Zoom class because number one, people hate Zoom, and number two, I don't want to talk all that much with this stuff anyway. Um, so I'm going to open it up and see if you have any questions for me.
Hey, Mr. Cartwright. This is Terry. How are you?
Hello, fine, Terry. Welcome to the class.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Question for you, just so I'm ahead. Like you had mentioned, I'm one of the employees that works full time, so I try and have everything listed out. Just looking through the modules right here, I don't see exams posted. I
Mhm.
assume that you will post exams as they come up, or will it be in Cengage?
No, the exams will be posted. I have old exams that are there. I'm not using the old exam. If I ever got into a crunch and I just didn't have time to, I probably would pull one from a previous semester. But hopefully, I won't do that. When I do, will post it on there. It's not going to be posted terribly early because most of them, none of them are prepared right now. Not a single exam is prepared for the semester yet. So I don't use Cengage materials for the exam. I prepare all of them myself.
Okay,
So that's the reason why they're not up right now.
understood. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question.
Hey, this is Seth Harrison. I just had a question about kind of the AI usage earlier. You
Yeah.
said you were talking about its main uses should be for to study, as opposed to use during the actual exam.
Mhm.
So what would your thoughts be on like being able to take the being able to take the PowerPoints and turn those into flashcards to use for studying?
Students have done that, and
Okay.
it's okay. I would tell you that my guess is that 10-15% of exams come from PowerPoint slides. Now that's going to vary, so don't hold me to that. There
Okay.
may be some that are more heavily done. There may be some that are less than that. Um, so flashcards are not a bad way to learn material, to memorize kind of stuff. There'll be some going through the PowerPoint slides in my mind. I'm thinking about the court system
That
and
was kind of where I was going with it, would be the different courts,
yeah, yeah,
their different
that could
purposes.
be helpful.
Okay.
That could be helpful. Different court system, diversity jurisdiction for
Right.
federal courts, and knowing that federal question only requires you to have a federal law at issue. The amount of controversy isn't relevant, and diversity jurisdiction requires both the citizens, the plaintiff and the defendant, to be
Hmm.
citizens of different states, and the amount of controversy to exceed $75,000. That kind of thing is tailor made for flashcards
Right.
to kind of learn that. So yeah.
And kind of tying into that as well, like specifically just kind of with those questions, more than just knowing the exact definition of each court, you want us to understand the concepts and like be able to
Oh
be
yeah.
given a case and decide where it would go.
Oh yeah, a typical
Okay.
kind of question that I might have that I've used in the past is I'd say something like Amy, a citizen of the state of Alabama, is in a has a car wreck with Tommy, a citizen of the state of Tennessee. The amount in She wants to sue for $68,000. Where can she file suit?
Right. And that
Can she
money
file
amount
suit
would
in
give us
federal
the
court?
information. Yeah.
It's well, let's see. Can she file suit in federal court? Is there a federal question, federal law? No, that's state law. Car wrecks a state law negligence type case. So there's no federal question there. So that's
Okay.
out. Well, what about diversity jurisdiction? Well, one of them's a citizen of this state and one of them's a citizen of another state. So it sounds good, but it also has to have the amount of controversy exceed $75,000.
Right.
So, we can't file suit in federal court. Then we have to go to state court. Well, in state court in Alabama, you can sue in district court, but it's only up to $20,000. So district court's not available, but state circuit court has unlimited jurisdiction. Oh, there you go. So that's how you have to do that. It's a hard class, but by the
Hmm.
time
Well,
mid
just that
semester
response
hits,
alone lets me know I need to go look over the PowerPoints at least a few more times for the exam. Yeah.
well, I will tell you that I, I've I mean that's a good idea. That's
Hmm.
definitely a good idea. Handouts too. Like the
Right.
Alabama state court system is a one-page handout. I showed people one semester. I went through, and this was when we were still on campus, and I went through about 100 different questions I could ask from that one page, and I was just getting started. So studying everything.
So all those handouts they're all going to be under the modules tab, or are some of those going to be under the course materials?
They're all under the modules,
All under the modules. All
all
right.
of them,
All
all the
right.
material. And I apologize. I'm getting over a case of COVID and I'm fine now, but apparently I've got this lingering cough for about 2 or 3 weeks. And I'm in week 2 of it. So eventually it's going to go away, but it hasn't yet.
Well, I appreciate those answers. That cleared a lot up for me.
Good, good. And I'm, just being completely transparent. This semester, I'm going to have a number of, uh, and I'm going to add these to the modules. The modules aren't done, they're not completed. I'm going to add some videos that, again, based upon feedback from students that said, gee, of course, it was funny. I was telling somebody the other day, I got had 4 students that specifically discussed I call them war stories, basically things that that I've experienced in my legal practice. I'm a lawyer. I've been a lawyer since 1982, 78, somewhere around in there, 80, 81, 82, 82, I guess it is. And I'm going to make videos on those. And a lot of the questions may relate to the videos and just say, well, in the case that Mr. Cartwright had involving the house sale, what did the person do that constituted fraud? Factually based. I want to make sure that you've done that. You've
Yeah,
watched the
and
video.
AI is not going to give us the answer to that
AI is not going to give you the
one.
answer.
Yeah.
That's right. You nailed that. You nailed that. It's AI prevention. And also, listen, if you're watching the videos, you're going to be learning this stuff. So I'm pleased with that. And I will tell you this, I think those questions for people that watch the videos are going to be the easiest things. And man, you can just make great grades. I've got two sections this semester. I've got 40 students in each class. If I have give 80 A's, I'll be thrilled. Worst thing they can do is say, well, you can't do that anymore. You can't teach. I'm like, okay, well, I'll go make a living then. I'll practice law if that's the case. Um, I don't do it for the financial compensation. I don't know if you know what adjunct instructors make, but we do it because we enjoy this. I enjoy the student interaction. I wish I was on campus. With this. I get online is a very convenient means for many students, and I'm all for that. But I do appreciate the ability for have some interaction with students who ask me questions, as y'all have done today. Other questions? These have been really, really good questions. Okay, I don't see anybody else with any other questions. So I will let you go. Be looking for the attendance verification quiz. It'll be based upon this video and the syllabus. They kind of tie in together. I kind of focused on some of the issues from the syllabus that I'm going to ask you about on the attendance verification quiz in this Zoom session today. Uh, that'll be worth 10 points. I think it has to be, you'll have about a week to take it. Um, it'd be really quick, 5 questions or so. And then be looking for the exams may not be posted until the day before, may not be posted, well, I guess the day before the exam day, but put the exam days on your calendar right now. They won't change again unless something like weather or something like that causes an issue. Um, and then if you have any questions that pop up anytime, you don't have to wait for a Zoom class and appear at one of these to ask questions. You can feel free to email me or text me, or you can call me. I rarely answer the phone, but you can call me and leave a voicemail message and I'll call you back. So anyway, since there's no more questions, I will let you go. Y'all have a great week. Welcome to the class and hope to see you on the next one.